Hello and welcome to Words on the Streets of COP29 here in Baku, Azerbaijan, where we talk to people on the streets of COP29 to know their diverse views on the theme for each day. Join me as we speak to different participants to know what they think on the theme for today, which is science, technology, innovation, and digitalization. Let's go.
We are here to observe as a part of the party and present some analytical results that we are conducting in our institutions. We are more scientific advisory for the Polish government in how to assist the climate policy and how to meet the targets that Poland is also obliged within the European Union and in the Paris Agreement.
Okay, so today is the World Day for Science, Technology, Innovation, and Digitalization. We'd like to hear your view on that.
Yeah, I mean, the technological progress is a must, and this is something that we need to focus enormously, especially in developing countries like the European Union, because without these technologies, not only implemented in developed countries, but also in developing countries, the progress with meeting the net zero is impossible. So the obligation for developed countries is to push for development of this technology and implement them not only in developed countries but also spread it to developing countries too. So we can all use this in climate policy and getting to net zero.
I think this is quite an important theme for the day, and this being important, and I'm just wondering if it's Science, Technology and Innovation Day, what does this entail? From the African perspective, we have our own indigenous knowledge systems, the knowledge that we had from our forefathers. And this knowledge is the knowledge that actually is assisting with the adaptation currently as people are feeling the burdens of climate change-induced natural disasters and climate change itself. And people have gone back and sought ancient wisdoms that actually provide the answers. And unfortunately is that the Western world also comes in the continent, harvest that knowledge and privatize it as if they are the ones who brought the knowledge, while it's our people that has been using this knowledge and surviving for thousands and thousands of years based on knowledge that is being carried from one generation to the other generation. So the innovation that is being spoken about, many a times you'll find that it's not innovation. This is something that has been practiced from before. And this is a challenge to all of us to say, let's go back and harvest our own forebearers' knowledge, the ancient wisdoms, and those would be the kind of solutions we want for climate change. I mean, basically, we know that our forebearers were so protective of their land, and now we have organizations that are saying leave it in the ground, and this is what our forebearers were doing, leaving it in the ground and not massively harvesting anything. They used to harvest what they wanted to use at a particular time. So the theme, it's a challenge to all of us to say, let's go back and harvest knowledge from our ancient wisdoms.
Oh, science and technology and innovation. I think it's quite an interesting day today in COP. Looking at science and technology, if you ask me, the entirety of why we're having the COP today is due to innovations in both science and technology that has brought us to this point where we are. First industrial revolution, and now we're here trying to have other industrial revolution. But I think the entire thing borders down on a new form of colonialism, if you ask me. It's a colonialism of not the mind this time, but of technology and science. Technology cannot be transferred. Technology can only be either you generate or you develop your own technology or you steal it. It can never be transferred. There has never been anywhere where technology is transferred. So I think the theme for this day is quite key because basically we need technology in the global south to leapfrog, but it's something that cannot be given by the global north. So it's when a delicate balance at this point to see how we leapfrog from where we are to where we're going to be. So the four solutions that have been preached everywhere is something I also want to talk about. Science and technology has actually given us electric cars, but I always tell people the electric cars doesn't have fumes because the exhausts are in the factories that generate the electricity that charges this car to power them. So it is back to the same vicious circle. Combustion engines are just moving away from the cars to the factories to generate electricity to power the electric cars. And it goes back to the same lithium batteries. You have to dig the ground to get it. Crude oil, you have to dig the ground to get it. So what are we doing? We're just going in circles, just changing or replacing one fossil fuel for another fossil fuel, like digging everything off the ground. So how do we leave everything in the ground? Science and technology will come to the rescue again, but innovation has led us to this point, and I don't think we should continue measuring and innovating the way we're doing. We should change the way we now consume, thereby changing the way we produce, thereby leaving these articles in the ground, these items in the ground. That's my thoughts on that.
Well, I
Thank you,
somehow represent
madam.
the science part.
My name is Chidi.
Because I direct a few projects that can help the policy dialogue among the policymakers. In particular, we work on carbon markets, and our projects involve the policymakers of Europe, the European Commission, but also of California, Quebec, Switzerland, the US, China, New Zealand, and so on. And what we do is trying to provide technical information that help better understand the functioning of these systems and also facilitate the dialogue on the alignment of these systems. Well, COP is promoting science, but it should do even more, in my view, because science is at the core of the solutions that we can find and we need to find for the future.
My thoughts about science and technology at COP is that one of the main problems we have here at COP is that we have a whole load of fossil fuel lobbyists coming here trying to sell their techno-quick fixes as a solution to the climate crisis. So they're coming here talking about false solutions like carbon capture, like geoengineering, hydrogen, but these are not real fixes. We know what the fix is. It's renewable energy, it's phasing out fossil fuels. We've got the power there, we've got the science there, we've got the wind, we've got the sun, we've got the waves. And so the reason why these fossil fuel lobbyists are coming here, over 1,770 of them, 480 of them are here to talk about carbon capture. They're here because they want to sell their false solutions that are actually they're only a solution for the fossil fuel industry. Because all of these false solutions in the main, they're actually about keeping the fossil fuel industry alive. So when we talk about technology and science, one of the big problems that we have here is making sure that we're talking about real solutions and not those solutions that are actually staying away from the fossil fuel industry.
And now you've heard people's thoughts on what they think about the theme for the day, and you know that we need to go back to our roots from the various people who we have spoken to here at the streets of COP29. We do hope that when we come again in the next edition of the streets of COP29, you will have more and more knowledge of things happening around COP29 here in Baku, Azerbaijan. I'm Kome Ojomo.